So, but what is the whole point of giving up, and what would be the difference, say, of fasting and abstinence? I know that we're having that today, so maybe you could explain that.
Yeah, sure. So quite simply, in terms of fasting and abstinence, whenever you see that word abstinence, that's talking specifically about meat. So we have 2 days of fasting and abstinence. In other words, 2 specific days in the calendar where we do not eat meat. And that's Ash Wednesday, Good Friday, but also every Friday is meant to be a day of abstinence as well, and most people would, although they might choose something different than that. Fasting is just more straightforward. It's just basically denying yourself, and there are many forms of fasting. The obvious one, the principal one, is fasting from food, as Jesus did in the wilderness for 40 days, 40 nights, as Moses did on Mount Sinai when he received the 10 Commandments. And the whole idea here is that when we fast, we lay ourselves open, or more open, to the action of the Spirit. It's like fasting intensifies our prayer, but also, if this doesn't sound, well, it does sound like a paradox, fasting feeds our spirit. I wonder if you notice, if you have had too much to eat, Stephen, you become sluggish, and slow, and all you want to do is sleep, and the fasting is meant to do the opposite of that. Saint Therese, she has a lovely little poem in which she describes how fasting makes her more agile. And she obviously doesn't mean in a physical way, but in a spiritual way. So she notices when she fasts, it helps her focus. I think that's the thing. When we fast, it helps us focus. But also, I would say, and this is true now of all the things, all the Lenten strategies, prayer, fasting, and almsgiving, they make us more sensitive to the Holy Spirit. That's why they're so effective. It's like they bring our defenses down. Sometimes I think when people talk about, penances and all of that, it's almost like it feels like it's a kind of show of strength somehow, or that we're trying to toughen ourselves up, or make ourselves thick-skinned, and it's the opposite. Fasting is meant to make us feel weak. I mean, it does, but that weakness is a window for the Holy Spirit to come through. So you could say that the prayer and the fasting and the almsgiving are all meant to make us thin-skinned, in the sense of sensitive, but sensitive to the inspirations of the Spirit.
Amazing. So thank you so much, Canon John, for being here today. It's been a real pleasure to have you as our guest. If you are new to this channel, can I encourage you to subscribe? And also, if you've got lots of value from this, I really encourage you to hit the like button and to share this with your friends. It would be wonderful. But without further ado, I will say goodbye, and we'll see you next Wednesday at 7 p.m. So take care, and God bless.